Hi, I am OgyaNana. I salute you all, my fellow musicians. Happy New Year to all of us. We thank God for blessing us with a glorious 2026. There are a couple of things I observed as music performers on stage that is a bit of a concern I want to share with us. It concerns the use of musical stems that is supposed to enhance our live performances and also loops. But I'll talk about stems first. Um, as it were, stems are made to support the whole music system played live on stage. I believe that the use of stems in live performances, especially from what I observed throughout the year, there have been some lapses. Some we have overused it. It's not supposed to be a replacement of the real delivery of music. Unfortunately, some of them are making it look like that. And I'm here to encourage us to stick to the standard. You know, stems have become a very powerful tool in supporting live music delivery. They can enhance our music, they can enhance our sound, fill some gaps, and bring consistency when we use them well. However, I noticed that in some performances, the use of stems becomes too obvious, you know, or at times a bit unstable, which can affect the overall music delivery or the quality of music we deliver on stage. And it can also affect the authenticity of the live experience. Sometimes it becomes too much and too obvious. That's where my challenge is. So we have to know the limitation. Our sound engineers will have to help us. As for me and my fellow instrumentalists, most of the times we want to hear things, we want to hear them very loud on stage. But with the use of stem, if you want to hear it and hear it, you defeat the use of a stem. Elsewhere, they use it pan, almost use it pan, but they don't make it too obvious. And if you don't prepare very well in the use of stem, it will expose you, because stems will not wait for anyone who is lacking behind, and you can't improvise with stems on stage. I'm sure you all understand. So why we experience the kind of flaws we experience is probably because the preparation is not there. We don't really prepare, and sometimes accident can happen. Just past 2025 in December, one of the consistent what do you call programs in December. I don't want to be specific. That what stems did to one of the greatest artists that I admire. Now I know most people admire. It wasn't a good experience. It didn't even happen in one song, but I noticed about two songs. The stem didn't do justice at all to some lapses. Let me put it that way. It may come from poor monitoring system. Yeah, mostly it's about monitoring. If the monitoring system is not so effective, not to open them loud, but it has to be effective. If it is not, the stem will run away, or the stem will just leave you and you will be exposed. I'm pleading that we actually study and research more into how we can use stems in live performances without making it too obvious that we are using stem. Please, this is my appeal. Live performances that I watched or I experienced, I noticed some of these lapses. I want to encourage my fellow musicians, um, and our sound engineers to use stems to support the music, not as a replacement. We will have to ensure stems are well balanced in the mix and not overpowering live instruments or vocals. That defeats the purpose of the usage of a stem. We have to be very mindful so that the audience do not clearly notice the transition. They must have that authentic feel of live music. Oh. And we need to practice thoroughly with stems before going on stage. And this is to avoid timing issues, dropouts, and confusion. These are some of the things that, if you don't use the stems well, these are some of the challenges that you face on stage. To conclude on the use of stems, the beauty of the music is in its energy and the human feel. Because, yeah, we the listeners of music, or the consumers of music, we must have the life, the human feel in the performance, you know than to push the technique behind it on us. That's not so cool. And I've seen a lot of that. I just watched one on TV, and that even inspired me to come and talk about it. It didn't look good. All right. Let me also talk about the use of loops. Almost the same issue, but with the loops. First thing I want to talk about is that it looks like we are almost taking the jobs of most of our percussion, and some of them that I know are turning into becoming drummers because we are using loops to take their jobs from their hands. Charlie, boys too for chop, oh. So some of them are becoming drummers. Well, it's good to be versatile, but some can sound very good when they are on percussion, and we are taking their jobs out of. We will use loops that has live conga. We can leave all the other percussionary effect instruments, the chimes and all those kits and some of them in the loop. When it comes to playing of the conga, we must engage a brother man to play and also get something smaller. We want to loop all of that. And talking about loops once again, we make it too obvious that we are using loops. Please, I would want to see going forward. I want to see that beginning of every song being played live on stage. And if we want to use the loop, why don't we collaborate properly with the sound engineers? So the very beginning should not be for public consumption. Those who are using the in-ear on stage, especially the drummer, should only be the one to hear the loops before the intro of the song. But most of the time, and especially the one that is a bit appalling, is when you are going to play reggae, you hear chaka, chaka, chaka. I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It's becoming a bit nuisance. Sorry for my words, but that's how I feel. And I believe something can be done before the intro that calls everybody to come on board. Sound engineers can help us mute the ones that is going out and then let those with the in-ear to hear. And as soon as everybody comes on board, then it can be opened to a certain level that will not overtake or take the shine of the real life play. I am begging my fellow musicians that this is a concern. I observed a lot of these in the past year. As we step into a new year, as God has blessed us with 2026, let's up that game a little. And there must be a serious collaboration between the sound engineers and the instrumentalists or the musicians who are playing the music. I'm sure you might have experienced a couple of them. You can share your opinion, you can share your thoughts, we can share ideas. And if there's something to be corrected, if there's anything to be corrected at all, we can all share an idea or two for all of us to get better in the music that we practice. Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah. Thank God for blessing us with a brand new year. This year is a promising year. It promises to be good. I'm already feeling positive about it. God bless you all. Oh,